World War III did not end with a treaty. It did not end with surrender or victory or peace. It ended with silence, a silence so complete that for a moment humanity believed it had finally destroyed itself. By the time the Third World War began, no one was surprised. The alliances were old, the grievances older, the weapons perfected. Cities burned beneath skies thick with ash. Satellites fell like shooting stars. Nations spoke in ultimatums and measured time in minutes to launch. Humanity stood on the edge of extinction, not from famine, not from disease, but from itself. Historians would later agree on one thing. If the war had continued uninterrupted, Earth would not have survived the year. Deep beneath the surface of the planet, missiles waited, suspended in steel chambers, surrounded by blinking lights and concrete walls that had never seen sunlight. Men and women stood at their stations, hands hovering over keys. They prayed they would never press, looking upward toward a weapon that could end the world in less time than it took to regret the decision. The order had not yet come, but everyone knew it would, and then the sky changed. Without warning, without declaration, every radar system on Earth screamed at once. Objects appeared beyond the orbit of the moon, then closer still. They did not announce themselves. They did not respond to hails. They arrived with the quiet certainty of something that had done this before. World War III ended in that moment, because suddenly none of it mattered anymore. At first, governments assumed a rival had developed new weapons. That illusion lasted less than 30 seconds. The objects moved without visible propulsion, ignored gravity, ignored interception, and then, with surgical precision, they struck. Not cities, not civilians. They disabled. Missile silos went dark. Naval fleets lost power. Air bases were reduced to silent ruins. Every nation, every military, every flag, equally. It became horrifyingly clear. This was not an invasion aimed at conquest. This was an intervention. Humanity had not been attacked because it was weak. Humanity had been stopped because it was dangerous. For the first time in recorded history, every nation issued the same order: stand down. Weapons were lowered in ruined streets. Borders became meaningless lines on dead maps. Old enemies shared shelters, shared food, shared fear. There was no celebration, only the quiet understanding that if humanity failed to adapt now, there would be no second chance. In bunkers and emergency chambers beneath the earth, something unprecedented occurred. Generals sat beside former enemies. Scientists shared data once guarded as state secrets. Languages blurred into a single purpose: survive. A unified command was formed in days, then hours, not because humanity had finally found peace, but because extinction was efficient. As the alien forces tightened their grip on the planet, fragments of their technology were recovered. Broken drones, energy weapons beyond human understanding, star maps etched in light and mathematics no one had ever seen. Humanity learned quickly, out of desperation, out of fear, out of stubborn defiance. We failed 1,000 times, and then we didn't. What began as a temporary alliance became something else, something irreversible. National governments dissolved into a single planetary authority, not out of idealism, but necessity. It was called the Sol Federation. For the first time, Earth spoke with one voice, and for the first time, the universe listened. The war did not end on the ground. It followed humanity into space. Using stolen knowledge and unfinished technology, human ships rose into orbit. Crude, unrefined, but ours. Battles erupted above the planet that had nearly destroyed itself. And slowly, impossibly, humanity began to adapt. The conflict lasted 2 years, 2 years of loss, 2 years of sacrifice, 2 years of learning how small we truly were, but something unexpected happened. We endured. Each battle made us smarter. Each defeat made us stronger. And eventually, the invaders hesitated. The final confrontation did not take place over Earth. It happened at the edge of the solar system, where the cold begins and the sun's warmth fades. There, humanity made its stand, and the invaders withdrew, not destroyed, not defeated, but unwilling to continue the cost. When the last alien vessel vanished into the dark, Earth did not cheer. It mourned for the billions lost, for the world that would never return to what it was. World War III was over, and humanity had survived, but survival had come at a price. We were no longer alone, we were no longer ignorant, and we were no longer bound to Earth. The war that was meant to end us had united us, and beyond our sky waited answers, Mars, the stars, and truths buried far deeper than we could imagine. This has been a Last Light Studios production. Humanity survived its last war against itself, but survival was only the beginning. Beyond Earth, the war left scars. On Mars, in the stars, and in places humanity was never meant to remember. In the next episode, we journey to the Red Planet and uncover a truth buried long before the first human ever looked to the sky.